Hey guys, Fhraelaok here with my vlog since it is Friday! Yay, Friday! Uh, in this vlog, I am actually doing something. I'm not just sitting in Stormwind or something. I'm flying over to do my dailies for the Fireland stuff, which is by the Sanctuary of Malorn. Which is down here. Anyway, oh, there's a giant tree. Only giant tree around, and I managed to fly into it. Very impressive. Anyway, I wanted to discuss, of course, what I did this last week, and I'm planning to do this week, and, coming week, and all that good stuff, as well as, I wanted to talk about what 4.2 is turning out to be like, at least from my point of view. Now, this week, let's see, what did I do this week? Well, I guess that's fairly simple. This week, I started raiding with Clowns on Fire. Well, I think I probably talked about that last week, because we were in that, but we started the new raid content, which was, let's see, what is it? Firelands? Oh yeah, huh. Anyway, now before I start this, I'm just gonna sit here with all these tons of people. Otherwise I'm not going to be able to do both at the same time. I thought I could, but I'm already just starting to have blank thoughts here. I just can't put it together. But we're going into Firelands. We're having really no problem with the trash. Although, last night, which was our second night doing it, it felt a lot harder to me because I died at least 5 or 6 times on trash alone. Which is horrible. I just did not feel like I had heals when I needed them. For a little bit there, I was seeing myself without getting a heal for at least 4 or 5 seconds, which, when you're getting hit really hard, that's not okay. I mean, we had a couple pally healers. I would assume that one was on each tank, because we had 2 tanks, and that would have worked out. But, I guess it didn't. Anyway, we've been working on Shanox. We, did not manage to bring him down under 30% our first night. But the second night, last night, we did 3 times, or 4 times. We managed to bring him down and get the dogs down. Of course, I mean, if one's trapped in an ice block or something, which I will not trap, I tank Riplin. I'm the off tank in that fight. But when it comes down to killing the dog, there's not a need to put him in an ice trap unless I'm getting totally wrecked, which usually I'm not. I can pop cooldowns or whatever, and even if I die, it's not a big deal, because it's not like I'm going to be able to match the main tank's threat anyway if she dies, so, I'm not going to trap him, but Face Rage will, or Rage Face will jump into a trap sometimes, and that's inconvenient, because then he gets the Frenzy, because the boss might have gotten brought down, and it goes downhill from there. But anyway, we managed to get him down to, like, I don't know, 16% or 18% or something like that, which was really good. It really was. Unfortunately, our main tank died. Healers just couldn't keep her alive, and we didn't have any other tank to pick it up because you can't taunt. So we decided to try another tank, just trying to match threat, not ever pulling off of her, but just there. That way, when she died, because we knew she would, that other tank had it, and we would survive through the rest of the fight. But we never got back into the phase again. That is because of the crystal traps, and it drives me insane how people fail on them so much. I've messed up a couple of times when I'm on a hill, or when it spawns directly under a melee. I start to move the dog because the boss hurls his spear, and I'm looking for a crystal trap. I don't see one, and sure enough, one was under the melee, and as I'm moving through the melee to kite him, I get hit by it before the dog does. Which is terribly inconvenient, and thankfully people started calling out where traps were. It's very hard when you have a lot of melee, and we really are melee heavy. Anyway, so that's what we were doing this last week. We're going to go back in Sunday and Monday, at least Sunday, and we'll just see how it goes from there. I'm just growing impatient with the team. I really hope that the leader sees who constantly makes the mistakes. If it's a certain couple of people that are always doing it and just can't learn, that they need to be kicked. As it's really not that hard. At the same time, it just looks like it would be easier on 10-man. Everybody I know who's done it on 10-man hasn't had that hard of a time with it. They can even occasionally down one of the dogs early and not have a hard time because they can heal through it and they can handle it. And it seems like it's a lot easier because there's not as many traps going out and it's not as frantic. Most of the fights in there, maybe except a couple such as Majordomo Staghelm or Ragnaros, look like it would be a lot easier to do it on. I mean, it wouldn't be that much harder on 25-man, but still everything looks like it would be easier on 10-man. There's more room. It's not as frantic and hectic and crowded. It just seems like it would be easier on 10-man for Firelands. I could be wrong. I haven't tried it on 10-man. So I really don't know if that's the case or not. But it would be interesting to see. You know, maybe we try it 1 week and we're like, wow, look how much easier this is. And then maybe stick with it and run 2 10-mans. Just an idea. I like the idea personally of running 2 10-mans when it seems like it might be easier. And then maybe pulling it together once everybody knows the fights and aren't really bad at it. But anyway, that's what I wanted to talk about was, so far, this patch seems like it's great for gearing people up, but at the same time it doesn't seem like gear is going to be the game breaker for this, and gear is going to help you basically out-gear everything. It just doesn't. I mean, it does help going in with heroic gear, you know, item level 372 or whatever that gear is going into Firelands, but at the same time it's not necessary. Of course, it's nice. It means your tanks have a little more survivability, your healers have a little more mana and stronger heals, your DPS are stronger, but you shouldn't need that. As you can see over here, I mean, you can't see numbers, I bet, but our DPS was never super fantastic. Our highest DPS was pushing 21 to 22,000 DPS, and our lowest DPS was at 12 and 13,000, which is, in my opinion, atrocious. If you're focusing on one target or just switching every once in a while, most classes should be capable of at least 15 to 20k, at least. And those who are geared fairly well and don't have a lot of ramp-up time should be capable of pushing around 23 to 25k in this gear level now. You just should be able to. We have, like, all of the buffs, so it's not like, oh, but we don't have all the good raid buffs. It's 25-man, we have a wide variety of everything, so seriously. And it just felt like the fight was taking way too long. Watching a couple other fights, even on 10-man, it seemed like it went a lot faster, so much so that the 25-man that we were doing, it just felt so slow, and it was running healers out of mana way too much, and running tanks out of cooldowns way too much. But I don't feel we have a really great rotation worked up for trapping dogs or moving people, avoiding traps, where to set traps, and I'm sure possibly disarming some traps in melee may be a good idea. Anyway, so that's that. Like I said, I did want to talk about that. It just seems 10-man is going to be easier, and gear is not going to basically make you the best raider ever. These fights are a lot harder, but they're mainly being raid aware, and that's it. Being aware of your surroundings, environmentally aware. It's not very hard to do, but people are not used to having to be super aware. They're also often used to people calling out what's going on, and it's hard to call everything out when tanks and everybody else has to communicate. So hopefully we'll get this boss down Sunday, and we'll be able to move on to Fhraelaok or Lord Fhraelaok. And I'm not sure which I want to do. They both seem like they're going to be rough for us. They really do. Although Fhraelaok won't be too bad if people focus and work as a team. As for the dailies, like I said, it's really good on gearing you up. You can get some 365 stuff. I got new boots, and I got a new necklace, and a new cape, but I got that from being friendly with the adventures of Hyjal. So, I mean, that's cool, right? And I'm gearing up. I'm item level 361 right now, which is hard to believe, right? Considering I still have a blue ring, a blue weapon, and a blue helm. All 346 though, but it would be nice to upgrade those to 359 or higher, or at least 353. I hate the troll dungeons though. There's so many bad players in them that I prefer not to tank them, and well, sometimes you just need to because the tanks are awful. So yeah, I mean, that's about it. I didn't really have much to say today on the topic of my vlog. But, I mean, the dailies are easy, guys. Just go out and do them. A lot of people are here doing them, so you might feel like, oh, I can never get the kills I need. But you know what? Just stick around, and if you see someone killing one, don't help them. Go find something else, and just wait for it. And you'll find it. Oftentimes, a lot of the things you need to kill for quests, there's not a ton of them, and they know that. So even if you just participate and you didn't tag the mob first, you'll still get credit, which is brilliant and a wonderful idea. So there you have it. There's my Pele's new gear, in case you haven't gotten to see him. I got my new shield from Nefarian, shoulders from Cho'Gall. I bought my new tier leg, so I got 4 tier 11. I got new trinket, new ring, and all that good stuff. New relic. And anyway, yeah, so there you have it. Like I said, not much to say. It is what it is. I hope you all are enjoying patch 4.2. Try not to get too stressed out at the rating. It is very frustrating, but I mean, it is progression, and it's going to take a while for people to get used to it unless you're already one of the top-end guilds. Thanks, guys, for watching. Please be sure to thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.